In case you don't know, last week I celebrated a birthday. I became 71 years of age. And I started to contemplate what it meant to be 71, what it meant to get old, as society would say it. So today, my talk title is Everything Gets Better with Age. You see, what I was drawn to believe, and I think what you were drawn to believe, is that society, our society, wherever we are, has made growing old as something that should be avoided at all costs. Just look at any magazine and look at all of the commercials for makeup, for surgeries, for this medicine, for that medicine, for this piece of clothing to make you look younger. You've got to be hip. You've got to do this. You've got to do this activity. This special exercise will make you feel young again. They're making it so that if you are getting old, you're defeated. We have been conditioned that we need to maintain the physical appearance of a viral 20-year-old. I find it absolutely fascinating that when I do have a little TV on and I watch commercials for makeup, the makeup that the people are putting on are on women who are in their 20s. Why aren't you putting that makeup on women in their 60s, 70s, 50s? You see, everything we're being skewed to is the idea that you've got to be 20s. That's where it's at. But if you start to look into things, you'll realize until about 100 years ago in the United States, the aging process was respected, expected, and we accepted it as this is natural order. It was natural that the body would age. But 100 years ago, we weren't sitting around in front of a television. We weren't on social media with our phones. We were working. Chances are we were on a ranch, we were on a farm, we were doing something. We were always on the go. So aging, because you're outside, was there. But as long as you had movement, as long as you could perform service, it was good. So I'm going to take you from a spiritual perspective now and go from this standpoint. The truth is that you do not ever age. The mind that you are using today is the same mind you used when you were young, and it will be the same mind you use as you get older. Think about that. Go back as far into your memory as you can. And remember, that you that was experiencing, that you that was witnessing, and go to today and witness what happened yesterday. The same you is witnessing it. The same mind is witnessing it. That mind never aged, but the body has aged. And our perception of what the body does, we say, is us. But that's not who we are. In Science of Mind, we teach that you use your mind to create your experience. I will tell you that once I discovered the science of mind and I understood the process of how to use the mind to create experience, I have lived more than I ever did when I was young. Because I understood I could use this mind to create. And the type of body I had does not indicate the quality of the experience I have. Example, I can remember being young and playing basketball sports. Intramural basketball in a league at work. And I can remember how tired I was afterwards. And I was in my 20s. But basketball is an extenuating thing. But I didn't appreciate what I was doing. And yet, a couple years back, I did the trek around Mount Kailash, where I was hiking for 4 days between 14,500 and 18,000 feet above sea level. But I was aware. I literally created the experience. Let me talk to you about using your mind. Here's something that happens as you age. As you age, you think you know things. The more you believe you know, the less open you become. What I try to do every day is when I'm going into experience, go in with the fact that I don't know what's going to happen. That opens me up to an experience different and greater than I might have been able to. Because the only thing, if I know what's going to happen, I've already limited my experience. And science of mind tells you that your experience is unlimited. There are infinite possibilities for you to experience. But if you're not going in with an open mind, if you're not going in with a young mind, you're not going to have that experience. The question is, have you conditioned yourself to be old? And you condition yourself to be old by the way you think. Our mind is never fixed unless we've chosen to no longer expand its awareness of new information and its ability to create and experience new situations. In other words, we can set ourselves free, or we can go into our own mental prison and throw away the key. And what I'm afraid is that most people have thrown away the key. If you haven't seen the movie WALL-E, I would highly advise you to look at it. And when you're on that ship, that spaceship, and you look at all the people from planet Earth that are on that ship that are trying to keep humanity aside, they're all in these hovering, I'll call them beds, with video in front of them, social media in front of them, where they're constantly entertained and food just keeps coming, and they're big, huge people with no imagination. They're actually in the prison of their own mind and the prison of their own body because they've forgotten to expand is the natural nature of life. You see, I was asked the other day, why do I read so much? Why am I a voracious student? That's because I believe the more information we have, the more possibilities become available to us. At the age of 80, you have, or should have, a great deal more information than you did at 20. And therefore, if your mind is open, you can now see greater possibilities. The more information I take in, the more I see how much more there is to create, to experience, to expand into. And that keeps me mentally in tune with the youth that I am, that eternal nature that will never change about me, that will always be now. You see, when you live in the now, you're eternally young. It's when you drag the past in or you forecast, imagine the future, that you take yourself and you age. Right now is all that matters. I'm going to tell you this. This is a key teaching for this week. The key to aging is inflexibility and not wanting or refusing to change. So if you are getting old and you want to know why, look at yourself. How flexible are you? Are you refusing to change? Do you not want to change? Do you want things to go back? How many people out there want to go back to the 50s, the 60s, the 70s? I never want to go back because the excitement is now, because those days are gone. You see, when we age, we forget that the only time there is now. Do you get that? The only real time that is now. Everything else is made up. So the keys to staying young: flexibility, your capacity to change, and have a key interest in life, and to live fully. To live fully, to live every moment without fear to the fullest. I want you to know there is more to be known, more to be seen, more to be felt, and more to be experienced today than ever before in the history of the world. And there will always be more. The question you want to go inside and ask yourself this week, every day, is, are you ready to live, or have you chosen to be old? If you're watching this and you have a desire to go deeper, starting, I believe it is July 11th, I'll be doing a class. It's either July 11th or 12th. It's called The Power of the Subconscious Mind, based on the book by Joseph Murphy. You can go to agapespiritualcenter.com, go to the calendar, go to July 11th and 12th, look for that class. I invite you to sign up for that class. It's on Zoom. You can take it from wherever you are. And I promise you, we'll go so deep, you'll come away with so much more information that you will be empowered to be young. That's what we do here at Agape. We want to empower you to be the greatest you can be. Until next week, make this your best week ever.